Most misunderstood thing about New Yorkers. What do people get wrong?
They hear me talk and they think I'm uneducated. I went to St. John's. I got a college degree. I'm perfectly educated. They hear me. They think I'm an alien. I don't understand.
People out here represented all the time.
It's just the way we talk. I know.
I got a reason to speak what's on my mind. You know I've always loved you all this time. But you gotta understand the seasons of our lives. We haven't always seen things eye to eye. You know we can't go on living on our own. So say goodbye to yesterday. If your heart is with me, then it's better you stay. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We need a reason to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. I got a feeling, you know what's on my mind. You know I never left it undefined. Think you understand that we cannot rewind. Our future could be redesigned. You know we can't go on living on our own. So say goodbye to yesterday. If your heart is with me, then it's better you stay. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We need a reason to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on. We need
Even has DVDs in it.
We're holding on to something. We keep on coming up with reasons to go on.
Who even has DVDs anymore? Oh wait, never mind. It's a hiding place for weed, allegedly used in a massive marijuana trafficking scheme run out of local vape shops by a father and his adult sons. We got weed hiding inside of a fake GTA 6 case before we actually got GTA 6.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can... Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. And right now, you can...
You're listening.
Yeah, like all the time I'm listening.
WATB with Christian, Eric, and Carl sometimes.
Listen in your office, in your car, or even your neighborhood.
your mouth, close your eyes. We're going to give you a big surprise.
And here it is.
Welcome to Who Are These Broadcasters? Not the only show on the internet that promotes itself with a story about a cabinet member cutting off the penis of a dead raccoon, allegedly. Welcome. Oh, Easy, you don't know that story. Good to see you, sir. And I see that you're teasing something on the next EZ show. Let's jump right in. Do you have Chad Zumach's DUI footage?
No.
And you're teasing it.
No, I mean, that's just something to say because in 3 minutes we won't be talking about it and someone's going to see it and go, oh my God. And it's going to be all the scuttle, it's going to be a lot of talk about that.
Well, if you did have it, it would obviously be followed by this.
Thank you. Please clap.
But you don't have it. So, Easy, how are you today? It's great.
I'm well. It's good to see. Are you wearing a bib? It looks like you're wearing a bib.
No. It's funny because I'm wearing a shirt from. I saw Paul McCartney in a 1,200 seat theater on Saturday.
Oh, that's outstanding. I heard about that.
I decided to flex on every stream I go on. You know, I was reminded that about a year ago, you and I were playing clips of Sir Paul might not have had it anymore.
Oh,
listen, that's him isolated. You know, it's a single mic in a vacuum. He was great. And he's got lots of backup singers.
I don't believe you. That's a bunch of bullshit.
You know, 1,199 people will agree with me. Easy, we don't usually do a lot of banter on this show. We got a little carried away with the banter last week, and there was a technological divide between you and I. Yeah. You wanted to play some music of, I don't know, Pellerito.
Pellerito is, he's the gift that keeps on giving. Started to play some music, and he's the guy who doesn't really know how to play or sing, yet gets in front of people. And, you know, most people would work on that before they get seen or heard, but not this guy, no.
So let's give a little listen. And just know the way that I loaded this up, I can't rewind. I can pause.
Well, and let me just say, this is a little supercut of highlighted moments from him doing the song Hook from Blues Traveler.
There was a moment where I was going to be worried about copyright strike.
No,
but
you don't have it.
And that was nice and short. So I think we should listen to it again.
I don't think he's talking about titties at the end there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know.
And then he after he does the suck it in, he actually goes.
Well, that was fun, but you know what's really fun? Super chats. Why don't we try again? Let's see if people can understand how they work. Easy, tell them the deal.
Well, so if you want Christian to say an absurd thing to sign off the show with, maybe about how he misses baseball balls and strikes before the new technology, something like that. Whatever it may be. Maybe it's a horrible comment about people of Asian descent. Whatever it may be, attach a dollar amount to it, and Christian will sign off the show with that.
Yes.
We also make money because you think the show's fun and enjoyable, and you throw a few bucks our way as a tip. That's fine too. Of course, we're not gonna encourage you not to. Yeah. That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Yes. So we welcome that. And listen, after today's show, there's only one more show before Hackamania. So I figure let's lean into it a couple more times. Listen, Hackamania, if you don't know already, I don't know what you've been waiting on. I do know that our buddy, The One Pun, just bought a ticket over the weekend. He did use promo code BEARS. We're still very far from our goal of, I believe it was a baker's dozen of tickets. But we appreciate that. I'll see you there. And if you use the promo code BEARS, you will save 10%. You may, but probably not. But you may see Eric Zane if you buy tickets.
There's no chance. There's no chance.
I mean, what if somebody buys 20 tickets right now?
Okay, whatever.
Okay, well,
you want to live in that world?
I do. I want to live in a world where I would like to meet you. Michael Pellerito says that guy sucks at guitar.
Yes, he is here. That's
Okay.
good. Thank you. Thank you. It was $5, but he gave us $5 last week. Now it's $2.
I mean,
I
if he
think
gave
he's
us
figuring out that he doesn't really need to give that much. 5 was nice. 2 is
5
nice
was nice.
too. But
if he's going to give us some money,
I guess since he's here, let's ask: were you intoxicated during that performance? Because it sure sounds like it.
yes, I wouldn't be entirely surprised. In any case, but thank you for money. I appreciate that.
Yes.
And
Oh, by the way, before we go a second further, I'm if I suddenly shut off my mic and put my phone to my head, I have it's because my vet is reaching, or my dog's vet is reaching out to me. I had a dog undergo a procedure last night, kind of an emergency thing. But I just got a text as you were talking, and he's doing well. So I think we'll be fine.
So I was wondering, is one of your dogs transitioning, or that's not what the procedure was?
No, that would be great. I don't know if there's ever been a dog to transition. That's a great question. I wonder if there's ever been a dog to do that.
Well, let me ask Grok, but but everything's okay.
Yeah. He had a bad eye, so we're taking care of him.
All right. And by the way, our buddy Chad's Missing Upper Lip said that he sounds like John Popper now. And Chad's Missing Upper Lip also says impacted Zane. Try some lube next time. And finally, just for the hat trick of Chad's Missing Upper Lip getting free chats on, being untalented has never stopped you, Zane. So
I like how he spells impacted. IMPACKED.
I mean, look, if it's a free chat, we can
good
pick
job.
on the spelling. Yeah, we can always pick on the spelling if it is indeed the free chat. We used to call that the poor chat, but I've been kind of shamed out of that. I don't think you have, though. You probably still call it the poor chat, right?
Sure do. And Uncle Jorms has breaking news. Did you hear about this?
I saw this on Instagram because I knew he'd been sick. He'd missed a few shows. It is definitely a bummer to hear that the great Ron Bennington has cancer. And yes, Uncle Jorms, that is definitely a major bummer. And hopefully he's, I don't know. I mean, if anything, that guy's a fighter. So I feel like hopefully our best thoughts with
that's
him.
what you say when someone has cancer. You always got to throw those out. It's like, yeah man, he's tough though. He can beat it. You probably won't.
The only thing that could have saved him is unfortunately your liver, and you went and gave it to somebody you don't know.
No, not a liver, dick. My kidney.
Yeah. Like you use either of them.
What the fuck?
I don't even know what that meant. All right. Look, we're having fun. I think that I milked the Hackamania plug. We're just trying. We want to see everybody there. And I would like to go right to what a lot of people tune in for, because I'm just blown away by the number of live viewers we have now. I mean, it's shocking how many we have.
Oh,
and I think that those people are here for one reason.
WATV, who are these bears? Who are these bears?
Unfortunately, I think the word has not gotten out in the bear community that if you want to go hang out around people, the place to do it is in Altadena, California. We talked last week what happened to Goldie, the mama bear who attacked a couple people. But I guess the message has not gotten out yet.
Hiding in Monrovia, CBS LA reporter Jasmine Veal coming back from a hike when she saw a bear and her cub. They were going back into the exact same house where a mama bear and her cubs were living in the crawl space. That bear was euthanized for swiping at and injuring a dog walker in the area. Her cubs were sent to a wildlife facility.
So that's the happy ending that we had last week, was that they got sent into rehab, basically. That's
what they're saying. Probably not, though. They went to the Abu Ghraib of bears, and that's it.
What do you think about this bear who's just tilting over trash cans?
Yeah, they are menaces.
Yeah,
they are, and they're so strong. Only in California would the bears be taken care of better than the actual people.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that, because this is going to need some description for our audio audience, but this was too funny not to share. People put out food for birds. They do that in California. They do that everywhere. But if you put it in the right spot, you might get an unwanted guest. So there's the hummingbird feeder. And this bear's like,
what
well, fuck. I mean, if you're going to put it at my mouth level, I might as well just eat it. And, and now you got a bear hanging around on your porch.
Look at that nice porch. Bear's going to fuck it all up.
Yeah.
Throw everything off the porch like the dicks that they are.
The reason we're still watching it is because this lady's going to get really brave when the bear walks away. So she opens the sliding door. Get!
Yeah,
did you hear what she said?
She called it a dick.
Oh, you know what? I think you're probably right. It probably was a dick. Yeah, dick. I thought she was saying get.
Yeah, you're supposed to start banging pots and pans and just make it really unpleasant for them.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, I just heard some music that you could probably play that might scare some bears away, but I don't know if that's unkind to say with the artist there in the chat, but this would scare away.
Titties in the past.
Yeah, he's not even close. I mean, it's suck it in if you're Rintin Tin or Amberlin. I mean, I don't know what.
I didn't realize. Can you play it one more time again?
Of course.
Oh yeah, it's all fucked up. Okay.
Definitely sounds like titties, though. I hear it.
It does. I think that is some type of. There's got to be some substances in that person's bloodstream to make them sing like that. It's awful.
Back when Howard Stern still did a listenable show, they had a drop of Trump that was just him going titties. And I think we might have to get a drop out of your friend there. I got one more bear clip. And again, it is a visual one. But if you didn't love the hummingbird feeder, I think you're going to like a video that's called Guard Cat. Couple of bears on the other side of the glass. Look at this tough guy cat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, fuck you.
Yeah.
The
those
bear's like
are absurd.
So the bear's trying to eat him. He's like opening his mouth, putting it up against the glass, like I could eat that cat. But he's like, fuck. Yeah.
My money's on the cat. Okay.
Well, the bear seems very lazy and hungry.
Yeah.
There's a bit of a baby bear.
I think that the bear would underestimate the cat. And look at that thing. He's fucking ready to go. That's an asshole. That is an asshole cat is what that is.
He's like, hey, yeah, you better fucking walk away.
I know. Those cats can be such dicks. Sometimes.
You're lucky my girl's here, all right? Otherwise, I would have really fucked you up. Yeah, so I just like how the cat freaks out and the bear's like, I can't be bothered. I don't quite know why I'm not getting scratched. I don't know why I can't eat that. And, listen, I think if we are going to do the show where we start the bear segment, we start the show with the bear segment. Should mention that the bear segment is sponsored by Hackamania. Go to hackamania.com.
Yep.
Use promo code BEARS. You'll save 10%. April 10th through the 12th. And by the way, if you can't make it to Las Vegas, you will be able to purchase the live stream, Eric Zane. So you could watch and see how much fun everybody's having.
Okay.
All your friends are going to be there.
Have we sold? Is it close to being sold out yet?
I don't know about the overall. I just worry about the 12 I needed to sell. And we're not close to selling out our allotment.
Okay. Well, I still think it's going to be a great event.
Yes.
And I think that people should go. It'd be awesome. Hang out with buddy Jesus. Anthony alone is worth the price of admission.
That's true. And, you only have to talk to me if you want to. You come find me and you can say hi. If it's deterring you, the idea that I'm going to be there, don't worry about it. Just, I'll be fine. Go have fun. The one pun will be Hughesy's going to be there. Lucy Tightbox is going to be there. I mean, there's going to be so many people there. So check it out. We're getting something good in there.
You guys can say that what you want, but I refuse to believe there's an audio only audience.
No, you say that, but I do hear from people and I do check in with them. Do we do a good enough job describing the clips? That is a very funny thing to say. There were a few comments earlier that I wanted to make sure. This guy, John, says more Uncle Floyd Oogie. Have you already forgotten Uncle Floyd and his little puppet Oogie after Uncle Floyd passed that I showed on this show?
Oh, that was very strange.
Yeah. This guy wants more of it. So, do you think I should listen to him and dig out some more Uncle Floyd?
No, because I remember I hated it.
You did, yeah. You absolutely did.
It was the guy that you watched growing up and you wanted to get molested by or something like that.
Well, I don't know about that. I it's not that I wanted it so much. It's just we happened to both be in ShopRite at the same time. Chris Tothill says we're holding on to, this was during the music, we're holding on to these two goofballs before Netflix steals them. It's kind of inevitable, right? I mean, at some point, Netflix is going to steal both of us. And we'll have to come up with an exit strategy. I hope that Carl will have a generous severance.
No, he won't let us out of our contract.
That's true. And McRib says, first mention of Rob Saul. I'm out of here. Seriously, enough already. I have nothing to say about Rob Saul.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, he did a show with, he did John's show regularly. And I guess he went into rehab. You wouldn't like him because he fucks dogs, or allegedly there's rumors that maybe he enjoys that. You know, it's probably not true. Yeah.
The people that are discussed in these shows never cease to amaze me.
Yeah. Well, just you wait. We got some winners. And of course, the free chat world order is being very well represented. And, you know, a good way to make sure that we don't get any more super chats is to share the free chat. So, we'll move on and we will head over to not just national news. No. We've got local news.
WATB, who are these local news? Who are these local newscasters?
Because of that chat you put up, I want to test the theory about our audio-only audience. And I would like Eric Zane to tell them about this video, which has a sound effect, but you need to know what happens.
Oh, my. All right. So that was one of those big fucking hook and ladder fire trucks. Driving right into a chiropractor's office.
Yep.
And all the drywall, the insulation, all the shit goes flying.
And this is in Nashville. I guess the driver of the fire truck had some kind of heart attack, which he seems to be okay. But, you know, maybe that's not the guy who should be driving the fire truck. And when you go out to Louisiana, you can see literally anything. Even when a truck spills over on the interstate.
Lord have mercy.
Everybody's getting out of the car.
It's all broke. Your tires. They're everywhere. Don't let him get under that truck. He wants to.
So there are crawfish everywhere.
Wow. Which they look like little fucking hellfire lobster demons.
And only right now do I think for a second that, is this AI? Is this real? It looks real, doesn't it? But I'm stupid.
It sure does, but you never know. You never know what is real and what is not. Did they say watch your tires?
Oh, is that what he said? He might have said
don't let him get under the truck or something.
Definitely don't let him get under the truck. But let's hear it again.
Great. Lord have mercy. Are y'all seeing this? It's all broke. Your tires. They're everywhere.
Tires.
Don't let him get under that truck. He wants to.
So yeah, I guess what they would pinch your tires and get all the air out of them.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, but you know, it's you know, I think that I'm not an expert on crawfish, despite what you might have heard. All right, one more largely visual clip. Yeah, JFK Headchunk says AI, but I liked it anyway.
Yeah, this one
I do think is real. A guy who I guess is worried about the impact of hail on his car. Okay. So he's got like a tarp around himself. Yeah. He's kicking his legs. He's on the roof.
Laying on the car. His body just hit on portion of the car. The body is stopping the hail, but not like 3/4 of the car is being hit by the fucking hail.
And it's absolutely ridiculous. The only situation where I guess you try something like that is if it's a convertible, but you're still fucked, you know. But do you think that this guy felt like it helped what he did? No,
I felt like he was like, okay, this is the type of thing that if I get on there, the whole world's gonna laugh. I know it doesn't help my car, and I'm a dipshit, but every show in America is going to be talking about this, unless if Chad Zumock gets a DUI. And then there you go. Now here we are, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, that's crazy. That's wild."
Thank you. Please clap.
I've got a really wild story out of New Jersey. You can really see anything if you go to the boardwalk down at the Jersey Shore.
Animal rights advocates are outraged over what they call a light sentence for the Cape May County man who decapitated a seagull on the North Wildwood Boardwalk 2 years ago. Frank Ziegler was admitted to recovery court last week instead of state prison. He pleaded guilty to several charges, including third-degree animal cruelty, and received 263 days credit for time served. Court record shows Ziegler told police that he became angry when the seagull tried to snatch French fries from his daughter back in July of 2024.
Now, look, it sounds a little harsh, but I bet that daughter learned, oh, I am never going to steal dad's French fries, because she knows what happens.
The fact they're like, "Hey, yo, I'm going to teach you a lesson, seagull. You're not going to do that to my daughter." And then she's traumatized for the rest of her fucking life. Oh, this fucking Jersey pig is ripping the head off that goddamn bird.
It does seem like a light sentence. And if you remember last week, we had somebody who fucked a flamingo in their hotel room. So it's a bad time to be birds out there in vacation spots. You know, well, all over the country, but, you know, in Florida in particular, it's spring break right now. And I never did a big like road trip when I was, you know, growing up in New York. I never went down to Florida for spring break. I had friends that went to the Jersey Shore, but I'm glad I never went on that either, because apparently there's, you know, a lot of beheading of seagulls. But let's see how much fun it is down there. Okay, and then the first thing I have to do, this is from NBC 6, somewhere down there. Would you like to read that, what it says on the screen?
It's a spring break chaos. Spring break. Wait, we're so excited.
Chaos. Spring break chaos.
Oh,
that's not how you spell chaos.
You're right. It is misspelled. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So the intern who handles their social media. And anyway, look, if I can play clips of a 5 and a 5.5 jumping around in bikini tops, I will.
We're so excited! There's never a dull moment on Fort Lauderdale Beach when it comes to spring break. Along South Fort Lauderdale Beach Boulevard are bars and cops on every corner. But when the sun goes down, sometimes spring breakers can get a little too rowdy.
Did you notice as they talked about the sun going down and people getting a little rowdy, there's a certain kind of clientele that they felt they needed to show that,
yes.
Yeah, it can be all fun and games, but there might be, I don't know, bears in this neighborhood.
Yes, that's what they're saying. They're saying that when the sun goes down, the black people, they start to misbehave. And that's a horrible racist comment that no doubt the scuzzy morons that enjoy this show will agree with.
I can only imagine the strongly written tweet by Chad's missing upper lip disagreeing with what you just said. Well, I'm sure that the rest of this piece won't prove that that's accurate.
A little too rowdy. How many fights have you witnessed since being here for spring break?
I've witnessed about
at least 5.
Too many, and I've been in a couple, so it's all right.
Video from Tuesday night shows young people breaking up a fight inside Swing nightclub. Meanwhile,
well,
it's white people and they blur it. We want to protect their identity.
Eric, they still have their futures ahead of them. Come on.
Breaking up a fight inside Swain nightclub. Meanwhile, the spring break fun was cut short for an FSU football kicker who was arrested. Police say 20-year-old Connor McKennedy, originally from Ireland, was being removed by security from Rock Bar, and authorities stepped in to help. The arrest report says the responding officer was trying to get control of him when he grabbed the officer and tried to pull him down. The officer then punched him twice and was able to put him in handcuffs.
Now, they don't have any of that. There's no footage of like what I wanted to see. And I guess we can wait for the body cam. So there's this kicker, Connor McAvery. He's 20 years old from Ireland. And I see that drunk son of a bitch. And all I can say is hit the like button. He reminds me of a friend of mine who will be showing up at Hackamania. So does spring break seem like one of those things? You know, and look, I don't know. Maybe you did take a road trip for spring break. Does it seem like one of those things that you wish you'd done?
No, I mean, back then I probably would have liked that because I was a virgin all through high school, and I probably would have thought it'd been an opportunity for me to get some puss.
Yeah.
But no. And I like how they're taking this. It's a story of, people get in fights. That's all it is.
Yeah.
No shit. It's at spring break. Everybody gets together. They're drunk. Of course there's going to be fights.
Yes, of course there will be fights. I have one more thing in local news before we move on. And this is, I actually sent this over to our friend Lucy Tightbox because she is a big fan of Taco Bell. She's on the Taco Bell diet.
Buy skincare products from Taco Bell? Well, soon you can. The fast food chain is getting into the skincare business with the announcement of their Mountain Dew Baja Blast under eye patches. In a news release, Taco Bell says these new patches are infused with caffeine and a refreshing boost of citrus that will energize the skin and deliver some cooling hydration. An exact release date hasn't been revealed yet. Are you going to try these new cooling eye patches? Let us know.
I don't think anybody's going to try it. And when you hear something like this, I'm like, I feel like this is a product that's not designed for people to actually buy and use. It's just the idiots like, well, I was going to say me and you, but you didn't choose this clip. It's the idiots like me are like, oh my God, did you hear this? That's the only reason you do this, right?
Yeah, or the people that are at spring break. They might actually.
Well, you got to stay awake for all those fights, you know. Oh my gosh, go ahead and let us know what we've got from our friend, the great Rumple Trench Coat,
Columbo podcast. Is this Ian or Ian McInerney? That's not the same guy.
No, that's Liam. Yeah.
Liam. I'm sorry. I said Ian.
That's a different.
I knew it was an Irish name. Scuzzy morons who enjoyed this show. Hey, I got a shout out by Easy. Of course you did. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for the 5 Rumple Trench Coat, a Columbo podcast. Let's go over to talk shows.
WATB, who are these talk shows? Who are these talk shows?
Well, I've got a little bit of a fun clip for our friends who are fans of Who Are These Podcasts, which I can't imagine watching this show and not being a fan of the main show, WATP. So I was a guest over the weekend, and I was very happy to join Carl and producer Chris. We talked about a show called Against His Will. Now, that's a podcast hosted by husband and wife writer-comedians Esther Steinberg and Noah Garden Swartz. Those are their show business names.
Okay.
The idea is she wants to do a podcast, but he does not. So I have a clip that we didn't have time for in WATP because in that context, it was kind of redundant. But because I know you don't keep up on WATP, you don't care about our friend Carl. You don't.
That's not true. God damn it. You make me sound like a goddamn animal.
Which part of that's not true?
I love Carl. I just don't have time to pay attention to the show because I'm doing my own show.
Right. On Saturdays and Sundays. Yeah, no, I get it. You're very busy.
Time to relax. God damn it.
I know. And you do need the time to relax. So I feel like this does an excellent job of summing up the entire, I think we spent 45 minutes on them. So I would like you to meet Esther and Noah, Easy, and tell our audience what you think of them.
We went to Einstein's Bagel. So I posted, wow, humiliated that I love Einstein bagels so much and me eating a bagel. Innocent post. And I was acknowledging that Einstein bagels is a gross take on bagels.
I think at first you went Einstein's Bagel, then Einstein Bagels, and I think it's actually Einstein's Bagels. You've said it two or three times and haven't said it correctly once.
I'm a boomer. The Einstein's Bagels. So
there's a lot more of this clip, but how are you feeling about spending time with these two?
Well, I mean, it's silly banter. Who doesn't like that?
Oh, okay. Well, he feels the need to correct her and make. I'm making a point when we talked about the show that I don't know how much longer they'll be married. But,
okay. So he's all right. You think that? Well, I mean, is this a regular thing that they bitch at each other? These two?
Yeah, this is only the 3rd episode of their show together. And
she already seems like a pain in the ass. I will say that. I got the impression she sounds like a pain in the ass.
Well, he might also win you over in that category.
I'm eating.
No, that's what it is. Einstein's Bagels.
Oh, I got it right.
I think.
As I'm trying to get it wrong, I get it right.
I'm going to Google it. Well,
now he has to go get his phone.
Okay, the story is this. I have never gotten so much polarizing information from people. Everyone had a comment. It was my most viewed, most commented social media post of all time. A story that said, humiliated to admit how much I like Einstein's bagels.
I have the verdict.
I think it's
actually
Einstein.
Well,
I'm going to vote Einstein bagels.
Well, neither of you are correct. Don't worry. Noah did the fact checking.
Admit how much I like Einstein's bagels.
I have the verdict. It's actually Einstein Brothers bagels.
Whatever. People know it as Einstein's
People
bagels.
call it, no, I think when people call it for short, they just go Einstein's. But anyway,
The point
already
is
way too much time spent on Einstein's. But the point is,
It's your fault. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up. You're totally distracting her and derailing everything. Now I hate him the most.
Well, there's still time for Esther to come back around.
Holy moly. People are like, that place is great. Those sandwiches are amazing. Yes, yes, Einstein. Or you should be ashamed of yourself. This is despicable. We're pulling your Jew card. How dare you? You are filth.
Jew card? What does that mean? If only Jews can like bagels?
You're supposed to eat a higher caliber of bagels. Not
You are.
Well, I mean, not from a chain. You know, like you shouldn't go to the supermarket and get like Lender's or, you know, Thomas's bagels. You should go to like a local bagel shop or something where it's, I don't know, blessed by a rabbi.
And I got you. I got you.
So ever since being on the show, I've now follow both of them and I'm keeping an eye on that show. How would you feel about periodically checking in on those two?
I love it. Anytime you can get a running thread of people, especially these two, that's definitely something that we need to come back to. And I can sense what you're doing. We're gonna have a series of go-tos that we can check in with from time to time, because I know on the down low, you've requested that I have a go-to that I bring up from time to time.
Well, one of my favorite things that you do is whenever you talk about free beer and hot wings, because it comes from, like, I don't like the two people we just looked. I'm not invested at all. I just think it's funny that they do a bad show. But you hate free beer and hot wings. Like the white hot hatred of 1,000 suns, I think. So it always comes from a place where I'm like, oh, you're taking so much joy in it. So
Whenever
I know that
whenever stuff sucks, which is every time they're talking, and I can review it and rip it, being that I was on that show for the longest time. I'm like, yes.
And my favorite thing, whenever I'm telling people about you, is that you got fired from that show right before everyone on the show became a millionaire. Is that accurate?
Pretty close. We had like 2 or 3 really good earning years, like really good. Yeah. And then they're like, fuck you.
You were this close. So I've asked you to look into that. And this would be a great time to have those clips, but that's in the future. We're teasing it forward. But what we do have here is that Tim Miller is the host of a podcast for the conservative site, The Bulwark. And the Bulwark, by the way, is a fairly established, like, never Trump variety of conservative, which I think is important. His guest was Ashley St. Clair. Do you remember Ashley St. Clair, Easy?
Porn star?
Not quite. She is one of
I know
Elon Musk's baby mamas.
Yep, I remember now.
Last year, we shared some clips from her one episode of her podcast, which was later deleted, but I still have my screen recording. So this is just to remind people. Anytime, Ashley.
After a year of unplanned career suicide, many questionable life choices, and a gap in my LinkedIn profile that cannot legally be explained, I've decided to start a podcast.
But not for long, because she deleted it, because she's got multiple ongoing lawsuits with Elon, which is one of the things that Tim wanted to talk to her about. But I thought it would be important to just remind everybody that we've seen her before. And she's like 24, maybe. She looks very different in the clip that we're looking at from last year. And maybe, she's less glammed up. But Tim is going to ask her to explain herself to everybody.
What's your villain origin story?
My villain origin.
So does this look like the same broad to you entirely? And maybe I'm just crazy because, I mean, she just have her. It's not just that she has her hair up, right? I don't know. Am I micromanaging
I think
this?
she's a face changer. You know how it is when chicks put on a lot of makeup, they can look entirely different. Like Kylie Jenner, without makeup, and makeup is a different person.
Yeah,
I think that's what you might have here.
Yeah.
My villain origin story
So you remember
is
his
I
shit.
started really on campus with these campus groups like Young Americans for Liberty as soon as I got into college, freshly 18. And then I got involved with Turning Point and I was tweeting and it just kind of snowballed from there. It was within a few months that I was invited to my first Turning Point event, that I was meeting Charlie Kirk, that I was doing events in Colorado. And then it just snowballed.
Okay. Yeah. Now, fans of the film Clerks know what snowballing is, so I wanted to make sure to call attention to that. But so she becomes, an internet celebrity is a loose term, but a bit of an influencer. And Elon Musk follows her, and she immediately, and there's screenshots of this, so she immediately needs to figure out, I need him to put a baby in me, basically, because she's like, oh my God, I want to get some of that money. So that's a screenshot to a friend that we've seen, whatever. But Tim does want to know, what's it like to be around Elon Musk?
Manic. He has 13 children, multiple ex-wives. Like, I don't understand how he, what is it like to be in his orbit?
When I first met him, I thought he was very interesting, especially I was 23, 24 at the time. And guys my age are not talking about philosophy or Schopenhauer or the Greeks.
He's talking about Schopenhauer?
Yes, to a degree.
Why is he a sweaty mess? He looks like he just got done doing aerobics or some shit. Like he's all shiny and dirty.
I believe he's doing sit-ups when the camera's not on him to maintain his physique. He's out, so he's what they call one of the gays. Donkey Punch, words hurt. You can go ahead and read that.
Donkey Punch says Easy doesn't have to worry about leaving WATB before anyone becomes a millionaire. Yeah, there you go. That's just another example. All we have to do is work hard to try to do a great show, and people just knife us. If it's not Carl trying to destroy what we've built by getting the show off of YouTube, then we have audience members that tell us to go fuck ourselves.
People
thank you for the $5.
People do say very mean things to Carl as well. But let's let her finish about being in Elon's orbit.
So, finding someone who could speak about something, and at the time you think this individual is a part of something so much bigger than themselves and they're fighting the good fight, that's very intoxicating to a young girl who's does not have a fully developed prefrontal cortex at the time. So I think there's been a difference in my view since I've developed that.
I hate these types of conversations.
Do you remember how much you hated her last year, though?
Yeah,
we're watching her talk again.
I think just generally, I'm not the most intelligent person, and they may be more intelligent than I am. I think that when I hear people who have more brains than I do, I just immediately tune out. People have to dumb it down for me. This is fucking stupid.
Yeah, she mentioned Schopenhauer, and I think
I don't even know what that means.
He's a philosopher.
Okay.
Which,
cool.
By the way, I only know because Monty Python have a song called the Philosopher's Song, and they list all these philosophers. It's literally the only
that actually makes me feel good, because if you know who it is and it's based on because you've studied the guy, then I kind of hate you too.
No. I learned pretty much all my world history from Monty Python. Okay, he's got more Elon talk.
Sing all night. That's really him?
Yes, it's all him. All his posts are written by him.
Which I think is a good question, because even if you don't try to follow Elon, you kind of always see his posts, and there are a lot.
At least we used to. I don't think I haven't heard anything from that guy ever since he left the White House.
No, he's still there a lot. I saw 4 posts from him this morning while I was getting ready. But he does. Tim does have a question for her about that.
You didn't get to ghost any of them during your moments?
I didn't get to ghost them.
Ghost any tweets? You didn't get to take.
There were a couple. There were a couple that came out of my mouth, and he was laughing and then typing.
So much of what she said, it makes her sound like a whore. Like the way she says mouth. This is my mouth, because she knows that some words sound sexy.
I'm starting to find her attractive, though.
Because she said, "Bow."
Well, no, just
So
I think she put her makeup is very well done. But
Yeah,
I also know what she looks like when she's kind of frumpy.
Yeah.
So that's weird. you
Better
know?
than when she was about to be evicted in the previous.
Yeah, I think she looks better now. I think she's turned the
does.
corner.
Yeah.
He does have muses for some of his late night rambling.
Do you guys have like a support network now?
You know, I wish I wish the harem would unionize, honestly, but at this point, but you know, he's quite the union buster. I feel deeply for Claire and Grimes, but I do love her music as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, of
vocal
course,
fry is a little much.
I do love her music as well. So he does, as Tim mentioned in the beginning, he does have 13 kids. One of them is her. She has 2 kids, and that's the thing that I'm actually not sure about. Does she have more than one kid with him, or does she have another kid with someone else? Technically, it's not my business, but she's kind of famous for getting knocked up. So she can't talk about the lawsuits against Elon that are dealing with custody, but she has a very specific one about Grok. And one of the features of Grok that I think she does a good job explaining it.
Back in late December, Grok was unleashed onto the public with a new image generation manipulation feature in which it was able to undress women and children, and anybody really, but primarily women and children were targeted by this. And so myself, I found countless photos of me undressed, bent over, covered in white fluids.
What do you think about the look on his face? Like, even as a same-sex partner, he has a husband, he mentions at one point. I mean, white fluid is just a part of life. You know?
She's getting jizzed on, and the pictures are available. Is that what she's saying?
Well, yeah, those are the ones that I think Grok. You know, we don't have to take issue with that. That sounds actually pretty funny. I mean,
Yeah,
you
I think
remember
there's nothing more attractive than a human being with piles of jizz on them.
Perez Hilton became famous just drawing dicks and like jizz droplets on like, you know, famous faces of starlets. So I don't know. I think Tim is being a little judgy here with
Yeah,
that.
come on. Jizz is beautiful. We all love jizz.
I'm glad that I can get a clean drop of that now. Thank you.
And real life aspects of my life were in these photos as well. It had my real face. It had my real kids' items in the background.
Do they
it
have
had
jizz
my
on them
home.
too?
I hope not.
And the only thing that was different was my clothes being removed or bent over or covered in whatever.
over.
So we're suing XAI now in New York for a variety of different issues. One is product liability because they shouldn't have released this product onto the public.
Starting to lose me. Talk
ChatGPT is
about
not doing
fluids
this.
again.
I've not been victimized by ChatGPT or Claude undressing me. And as you mentioned, now there's 3 teens suing. In that suit, they cite that one of the girls, 2 of them are under 18.
All right, so now you get to the part that's a problem because it was funny, and then now there's like underage girls, and she mentions that there's pictures of Ashley from when she was 14 that people did that too. So now I can't look for the good ones because I don't want to come across the ones where
you're
she's
only
underage.
worried about breaking the law. You don't want to be arrested.
For research for this show, I wanted to find one of the ones where she was covered in fluid. I couldn't show it, but Tim does want to let her kind of try to use her powers for good. He wants to show off how funny she is. So this is an interaction she had on social media that he talks about.
Ruben Gallego wrote, Trump wants to invade Panama, Greenland, and now Gaza. Trump is a warmonger. Credit to Ruben. He was right about that. You replied, your mom named you after a sandwich. That's funny.
Is it? Is that funny?
Don't say that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, she thinks it's funny.
He was right. You were wrong. But I want you to use that skill set for good. That's what I want you to do.
I was right that his mom named him after a sandwich.
And it's fun.
She's still proud of it. She's so proud of Ruben Gallego. All right.
Let's go back on jokes I said and laugh at them.
So I have one final clip. This is the second time where he tries to get her to comment on the rumors that Elon Musk has a micro penis.
Try. Do you want to comment on Elon's microphallus, or like just draw a picture of
I
it or
am
something?
not at liberty to discuss that. Connor Eats Pants tried getting me on that as well, but The greatest journalist of our time, by the way, Connor Reed's Pants.
Connor Reed's Pants. I can't compete with him. Is there anything like just, like something in his like in his bedtime drawer? He's got a little binky. Is there a little something? Does he sleep with a teddy bear or something? There's nothing. No.
He's cracking himself up.
Yeah, he sure is.
It's all worth it because of something she does at the end of this.
I will respect his privacy in that regard.
Okay.
So she at least gives us the wink. And do you think the wink means, yes, he has a micro penis, but I can't say it on the record, or just that he's a weird dude? I'm going to take this to mean that he has a micro penis. Yeah.
He does have a micro penis. I believe that.
Okay. So we're on the same page there. Anyway, so Ashley St. Clair's back out there, still not doing a podcast. And, the idea for her podcast, it was called Bad Advice. I mean, there's way worse podcast ideas out there,
And you said she's like 24, 25?
Well, she was 24, 25 when she met him. So I misspoke there. But she's under 30. Okay. So, too old for EZ. But
well, no, it's just that she looked so much older.
Yeah.
She looks like she should be running a school district or something.
And who knows? Maybe she will be at some point before too long. In any case, that's a largely political conversation. So I think we have to head over to politics.
Who are these politics?
One of my favorite videos we've ever shown on this program is former New York City Mayor Eric Adams, before he was the mayor, going around and warning you about some of the dangers your kids might have. And anytime I have an excuse to show it, I will. I didn't think I would ever get to show it again because I thought we don't forget about this guy, but just a quick snippet.
I always recommend to start out in a periodic fashion so you'll be used to going through the room to look at the various items in the room. You can look at a jewelry box. A jewelry box of this nature, maybe a simple jewelry box, but if you look through it closely, you don't know what your child may be hiding. For instance, a gun could be hidden. A small caliber weapon could be hidden inside a jewelry box.
Or any box.
There might
be
just
a jewelry box.
There might be a gun hidden in a jewelry box.
Look at the various colognes and perfumes and photos and pictures. You should always, when your child brings in his popular knapsack with many different locations, look through it to see what exactly is your child carrying in addition to a book. Something simple as a crack pipe.
Okay. So, look, we've watched it before. You can all find it. Now, the way that I chose to present that video when we had it on the show was that I took the music out because it's really loud. And somebody in current New York City Mayor Mamdani's office had what I think is a great idea. Let's do a parody of that video. But I'm going to see if you think it lives up to the concept.
Months ago, I asked agencies across city government to find $1.7 billion in savings.
So he's got music in the background. That video originally had music.
Without compromising essential services. Here are just a few things we found.
What have we found, Zoran?
Even just by capping how much we spend on paper, pens, and office supplies, we're going to save more than $27 million.
Oh,
the city was paying for a lot of work from outside.
You figured it out.
It was
You
costing
cracked the
far
code.
too much. So we're bringing a lot of that work in-house.
So how do you save on the
Saving
budget?
our budget.
Okay.
Millions on things like IT services and software.
Do you need to see another one, or do you think you get it?
No, either or. I'm good either way. I love that he is to illustrate the saving of money. I have to find money. So do you think he's knocking Adams? Do you think he's being stupid? Just to.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that the whole thing is calculated. I never laughed at the actual video, but when I read the description, I'm like, oh, I love this idea.
We've also found that sometimes we've been overcharged for life-saving medicine, like naloxone. So we're renegotiating that contract and saving another $1 million. Our contract with McKinsey at the Department of Social Services, no more.
Yeah.
That's $9 million.
So he had $9 million behind a painting. All right. So what do you think?
I want to know, what are you doing with the extra money?
If you had to give that a letter grade, like at school, A, B, C, D, or F, where what would you rank the actual execution of what I think is a good idea?
I think it would be better if he was pulling out the crack pipe and saying, "Oh, this must be hair from when Mayor Adams was doing his stupid video."
That would be an A+. Yeah. Well, if you have good feelings about Zoran Mamdani from that, I would like to show you his attempt at stand-up in front of the New York press, but not until after we have, of course, a super chat that is from Donkey Punch again. It says, "You don't need to run a city with IT or supplies." Well, thank you, Donkey Punch. So here's Mamdani trying his hand at stand-up.
Marsha Kramer, it's wonderful to see you tonight. Marsha, of course, hosts CBS 2's The Point, as opposed to Melissa Russo's forthcoming TV show, Get to the Point.
I don't know who either of those people are, but I think if I did, I wouldn't laugh at that.
Katie Honan, if someone were to ask me which reporter was most likely to call white supremacist protesters virgins, you'd be my first, second, and third guess.
I don't think that cuts the way he wanted it to.
No, because it's like he's doing his campaign speeches. He's nothing's natural for this guy.
It's very unnatural.
Sommerfeld, I am glad that the Inner Circle show changed their no shoes, no service policy. It would not have felt the same without you here.
So he's doing that thing when it's not going over. Yes, it would not have felt the same without you here.
Comedy's hard. I don't know why everybody thinks they can do it. I mean, I've never attempted it, but
thank you. Please clap.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of people that attempt it. I agree.
Even if you have somebody write the jokes for you, you still have to deliver them. And this is shit is what this is.
I feel like a room full of staffers wrote these jokes for him. Let's get one more.
And I want to give a special recognition to Andrew Sif. I am only here tonight because you badgered me into it. And because someone told me that you were secretly ad rock from the Beastie Boys, and I had to find out if it was true.
So they tilt up, and they show it a little bit. And jokes like that could kill in that room, but they don't. So do you dislike the first video more now that I showed you the second video?
No, the first video still worked. It's that the stand-up is horrific.
Yeah, no, it's very bad. The first video, again, the idea was funny. You remember Mike Lindell, the My Pillow guy?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, he's
fucking amazing.
He went really far out on the limb talking about the 2020 election. And the guys who named companies who made voting machines are the ones who are kind of regretting it the most. I feel like he's not in great shape. And I've had people on Discord tell me that this is staged, this isn't real. It's really funny. He's doing an interview at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference.
Most of them break a law within the first 3 months. Most of them, we're on TV here, please. We're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay, we're on TV, please. We're on TV, please. Okay, we're on TV, please.
What are you serving him with?
We're on TV, please. We're on TV,
what are you serving him with?
I'm not accepting it.
What are you trying to serve, ma'am?
We're on TV, please.
Yeah.
We're on TV, please.
So she was serving him some kind of lawsuit, but if you don't want to be served, you can't take it and throw it away. He's accepted it now.
I think you have to sign something once you get it too.
I don't know. Carl got served.
I was just recently served myself.
Oh no! Oh, that's right. You were.
and I remember the process. He was the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, I think they want you to sign it, but I think they can sign something swearing that you took it if maybe you don't. But it also might vary by state.
Right. So, and I'm not getting sued. I was just wanted to speak at a deposition, which I ended up, as of right now, getting out of it. And I'm hoping that continues.
Yeah, well, it's always good to stay out of the court.
But I'm still auctioning off the paperclip that's holding the subpoena and all the information they wanted to talk about. I am auctioning off on my podcast this paperclip and throwing in all the papers that go with it for free. And I'm also auctioning off Pellerito's disc that he sent me of his stupid singing at I'm assuming it's singing on this. It might be pictures of children. I have no idea.
well, you just, all of a sudden you just got a lot more bids because of the chance that it might be something else. Do you think that that's somebody legitimately, an actual process server serving him there?
No, I think it's like if we did our game bullshit or not, that would be bullshit. I don't think that Mike Lindell was actually getting served.
Well, Mike Lindell, before he became kind of the spokesperson for the 2020 election being stolen, who was probably the most vocal supporter of President Trump and got shunned by President Trump, who wanted nothing to do with him after that.
That's crazy that Trump shunned him.
It was the lawsuits. You don't want to get wrapped up in any of that. He kept trying to talk about it. He was, he was a feel-good story at one point.
He was.
That he was
Everybody
clean.
respected that guy.
Yeah, that he'd been a drug addict and he was clean and sober. Here's another video of him doing an interview from the car. And, well, I'm a little worried about him getting the next chip for the next year of sobriety.
And we still have some of those all-season slippers left at $25 a pair to thank all of you out there.
Well, I'll let him keep talking, but how would you describe this gentleman that you're seeing in his car?
It looks like a guy who slept in his car is what it looks like.
I'm going to take it one step further. He looks like a guy who lives in his car. So at least he's got the car.
For the great, for supporting us through all this. My employees, we've lost all our box stores, our shopping channels. We get attacked every single day, and my pillow should not have to be attacked when they're protecting companies out there that we never heard the names of before, which I don't need to name all the voting machine companies, but.
So I'll just say, he's still trying to talk about the voting machine companies, but he's learned to not say their names.
Right. And at this stage of the game, no one even cares if there was an election stolen. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm worried about what's happening on March 31.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So the earlier clip was from CPAC, and this next clip features a gentleman named Matt Schlapp, who is he's basically the co-chair of that, but he's actually the chair of CPAC, and he's the dad to 5 angels, which is what I like. So he came out to speak, and it is, again, the Conservative Political Action Committee, and he's talking about the threat in November to the Republican majority and to the White House.
Would like to see impeachment hearings. No, that was the wrong answer.
There's a huge reaction of people who are conservatives and they paid money to be there. Would love to see an impeachment.
Okay, are they just fucked up? Are they just misunderstanding him, or are they serious?
He gives another try.
Let me try it again. How many of you would like to see impeachment hearings? No.
There's still... So it went from like 50% to like 20%, but that's still a lot. Yeah, there's like a woo. Yeah, we'll listen to the woo.
Like to see impeachment hearings? No. Can someone bring some coffee out for the
I know. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, it's almost like this is a room full of people who feel like they were lied to with things like no new wars and no nation building.
That's got everybody pissed off. This whole war thing. I love it.
Yeah. The interview that I watched with Ashley St. Clair, there were the non-funny parts where she talks about like, oh yeah, no, people are really unhappy because people like her were sold a bill of goods that is not what they ended up getting. But
it's so sad that my dad died on the day we attacked Iran.
So he didn't really get to enjoy it, did he?
No, because I told you about this. He lived there.
Yeah.
So he saw all the shittiest things that these fucking psychos and how they live. He would have been like, yes, kill them, guy, kill them. Unalive them.
Yeah, right. Yes, unalive them. Yes, absolutely. So Dr. Oz, right? I mean,
of course, he's America's doctor.
Yeah, he's trying to encourage people, and I think that his heart's in the right place. But let's see what he's trying to get people to go out and do.
He's on the move. Let's go, Chris. Diane, just join me. I love walking. It's a whole special joy. It makes you think a little clearer, get outside a little bit, get your heart pumping. It turns out if you can walk Just 20 minutes a day could save our country $100 billion in reduced health expenditures. That's why it's so important to create a little flash mob. Let's go, team. As you get moving and pick up the pace, get a little breathy if you can. We've got wonderful governors like Governor Green in Hawaii, bringing his state along. I want all the governors to consider doing the same thing.
So he does talk about getting a little breathy. I don't think he should be filming a video while he's walking because I don't know how old he is. It's not easy for him to walk and talk is my takeaway here. So this makes me think like, I should just sit on my fat ass and not walk because I'm at least breathing normally right now.
Just the fact that they have to stage this whole stupid thing just seems like such a stupid waste of time.
Get your troop together, get your tribe going, and get outside and get walking. Keep people active, and then celebrate with them. All right, come on, guys. Take it away.
Yeah. So, a lot of stuff that we show here is, of the cringe variety, the try hard variety. So, to me, what's funny about it is the simple fact that he can't breathe, and I didn't see what that free chat was. That you
no job allows this. They want you working.
Yeah, that's a great point. No, get up and walk. Well, I don't know. Dr. Oz said I have to. I don't want to get too bogged down into the policy of this. This will be a broadcasting moment, but Joe Kent. He resigned as the director of the National Counterterrorism Center. And it was basically because he could not support the ongoing war in Iran. And, he was part of the administration. He towed the company line, and he's been very outspoken about it since then. And somebody who also toes the company line and seems to get regular talking points is Mark Levin. And Mark Levin has Joe Kent on the show. And you've interviewed people, and tell me if you would treat a guest like this.
Video said there was no imminent threat coming from Iran against the Americans.
Well, he corrected that.
There was an imminent threat coming from the Israelis who were going to attack. But that's actually the truth.
Okay, hold on. We're going to do it. We're going to do it honestly, one point at a time.
The Iranians had observed an escalation ladder. They hadn't attacked us under President Trump.
Can you do me a favor? And I don't mean to be rude. Can you talk a little more slowly? I'm having trouble hearing.
Well, you mentioned earlier, and I was saving it for this moment.
Extraterrestrials, strange phenomena, missing persons, lost continents, myths, and monsters. We examine these mysteries to determine, are they bullshit or not?
You think old Mark Levin's having trouble hearing what Joe Kent is saying, or does he need him to slow it down so he can, gather his bullshit?
I think he's I think he's afraid to just say, let's go down one thing at a time. Yeah. That's what I think he's afraid of doing.
Yeah.
Because he's kind of hacky, he's going to make up a fairy tale about, kind of like just what you said.
Yeah. And I'll shout out the X account, the Vigilant Fox. You can see that this is where I got it from. They do post a very biased, one-sided view of things, but they have tremendous videos that are very helpful in doing this show. So, all right. Levin's back at it.
Take your time. Go ahead.
Take your time.
Sure. When President Trump came into office, the Iranians knew that President Trump wanted to get a deal. They observed the escalatory ladder very carefully. They stopped having our proxies attack us like they were attacking us under the Biden administration.
So he told them to take his time, and you're a radio guy. You know what's happening. You hear what's underneath him.
And they got to the negotiating table with us about the nuclear agenda. When the 12-day war kicked off and the Israelis started that, the Iranians still didn't attack us.
All right. We have to take a break. I'm going to circle back on some of your comments here, and then I have some other questions. I appreciate you being here. We'll be right back with Joe Kent.
Do you think he appreciates him being there? Do you get the feeling that he's appreciating this conversation?
No, it all blows, and it's two. There's two problems. A, it's not a conversation.
Correct.
It can't just blurting shit out that he's rehearsed that he's supposed to say to take care of what he wants to take care of, what he wants to address. Levin is just letting him do it.
Yes.
And when he is trying to pump the brakes, he's kind of doing it doing it in a weird way. He should have had all this stuff taken care of off of the air. We're going to have a conversation. We're not just going to let you take over the airwaves here.
Well, he takes a break, and I'm sure at this point, pretending that I haven't already heard the clip, I'm sure that Mark Levin has had a chance to gather his thoughts. He's talked to Joe off air and been like, all right, let's just slow it down. We have plenty of time.
President Trump said no nuclear weapons. And then through official engagements through the Israelis and then also the media echo chamber that wanted regime change in Iran said, no, we need to say that the Iranians can't.
What about the media echo chamber, your buddies who didn't want regime change in Iran? There's a lot of echo chambers out there, wouldn't you say?
It appears that your media echo chamber was much more successful.
No, it wasn't. I never lobbied the president. Hey, pay attention to me.
Do you think that that's a sign that the interview is going well? Hey, pay attention to me.
It's interesting that Kent, when they came back, he basically said the same thing that he finished up with the last segment. So he's not that down.
No, he knows what he's supposed to.
Yeah, he's not interested in having a dialogue. Levin would like one. It's not happening. So now he's getting angry with the guy.
Right. Which is why this is funny, is because he's getting angry. And he says, I've never lobbied the president, which the best way to convince us that you've never lobbied the president is to tell a story about the time that you met with the president.
I never lobbied the president. You guys keep putting that crap out there. I met with the president once at his request. And I said to the president, ready for this, Joe? I said, they're saying out there that I'm lobbying you. You know what he did? He laughed. You know what he said? Mark, I know where you stand. I watch your show on Saturday and Sunday. Anything I say here, pay attention. Anything I say here is what I would say. I did what?
You can lobby him by using the power of your show.
Yeah, he's not wrong. He's like, pay attention. It's the second time he's told him to pay attention.
Yeah, that's his thing. Pay attention.
Yeah, it's like, and by the way, do you think that the President Trump said, I watch your show on Saturday and Sunday, because Levin is putting it out there that it's on both days. And I don't know that Trump is helping him promote.
Yeah, I've never gotten the impression that he pays attention to any talking head except maybe Sean Hannity.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. Anyway,
Sean Hannity and Kid Rock.
That's true. The two great minds of the 21st century. I do want to talk about another great mind of the 21st century. You guys remember Robert F. Kennedy Jr.? He's become a much bigger deal. We used to talk about him a lot during the campaign. We haven't talked about him nearly as much. I want to just remind people of some of his greatest hits from this show.
I was on Jeffrey Epstein's jet 2 times. I was on it in 1993.
Okay, so that's the first one. We have a reminder that everybody's trying to say that they didn't know Jeffrey Epstein. And he's like, no, I was on his plane a couple of times. And then this is one that's just got a photo. A newly unearthed photo suggests Robert F. Kennedy Jr. ate a dog while traveling abroad. You remember that we might have had some fun with that.
Oh, yeah, he did eat a dog. You can see it. There's the dog.
The lady who has her eyes blacked out in this photo could not be happier. So yes, so there's that. The stories of him, eating dog, and the best one though was that he decided to go on Roseanne's podcast and tell this story.
A woman in a van in front of me hit a bear and killed it, a young bear. So I pulled over and I picked up the bear and put him in the back of my van.
The whole story is so much more involved. He then dumps it in Central Park. And at the time, people were wondering, where did this bear come from? So he talks about that.
Yeah, it seemed like the type of story that a heroin addict would make up before they start to recover. Like you're in the middle of after a big loading up the veins with heroin goodness, and then just something that they'd say. And Roseanne can't believe what she's hearing there.
She's just like, I can't believe he's saying this on my show. So I didn't think anything would ever top any of that. But even back then, there was one more, because the bear should have been enough. But There was also this story.
In the decade-old interview, Kit Kennedy shared that when she was 6 years old, her father chopped the head of a whale that washed up on Squaw Island in Hyannisport. Kit said, every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet.
So cut off a whale head, put it on the roof of the car, and the windows were open so that they didn't waste any of the whale juice. So that was where I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. There's no way anybody would want this guy in government. But, that's not my stance that I'm taking here. Now we have an even crazier story that has been making the rounds, that apparently in 2001, RFK Jr. cut the penis off a roadkill raccoon as his kids waited in the car. And
were they waiting to eat it, or?
Well, that's one of the questions that I think a lot of people have. So this is a summary. So an investigative reporter named Isabel Vincent, she has a book coming up, RFK Jr., The Fall and Rise. That'll be out next month. And they got 3 of his secret journals and went through 1,200 pages of his life and his deepest thoughts. And this is the excerpt from the book. It would foreshadow Bobby's later life, such as when he scooped up a roadkill bear on a New York State highway in 2014, dumping it in Central Park when he realized he needed to catch a plane, which I forgot that was the reason he did it. In his diary, he writes about cutting off the penis of a roadkill raccoon in 2001 while his, quote, kids waited patiently in the car so he could examine it later. Now, the article, this is from Yahoo. Unfortunately, it's not made clear what exactly Kennedy did with the fur bandit's penis, which is a great name for a band. But Google says raccoon penile bones are also known as mountain man toothpicks. So do with that what you will. Is the whale still crazier? I feel like just cutting off the penis is insane.
Well, the two very different things, being that one's so gigantic, but because it's a penis.
Yeah.
And he clearly wants to eat it or put it in his mouth or
something,
dissect it. And I mean, why else? I mean, what else could he possibly do with a raccoon's penis? I don't know. Maybe he put it into a pie. It's fucking horrible.
Well, the reason we're talking about this is that there's not a lot of videos where this is discussed. There are articles commenting on it, and the Daily Show ran with it, but we've gotten flagged from playing their videos before. And honestly, we just the whole concept of it. So I want to keep an eye on this story because I want more people talking about it. You know, why are they not discussing this on the 5? You know, Gutfeld be like, so what do you guys think about this? You know, I'm hoping that by next week's show, that we have more about the raccoon penis.
Yeah, I want the organizations that are pro-Trump, pro-Trump cabinet to weigh in on this, because if any organization on the left weighs in on it, people aren't gonna, people are gonna be like, well, we don't believe this. Yeah. You know, this is the liberal media. We need the right media to talk about it.
We need to know what Ashley St. Clair. We need to know what Ashley St. Clair thinks about this. That's what.
I mean, I don't care if you voted for Trump or not. If your health secretary is cutting off raccoon dicks, there's clearly something wrong with the guy.
He did it 25 years ago, though. So, like you said, maybe he hadn't kicked the horse, as I think.
Well, he's still cutting off animal dicks left and right. He has to be.
I mean, yeah, it's not one of those things you stop doing because it's so much fun.
I mean, if I cut off, if it became clear that 25 years ago I cut off a raccoon's dick, people are still going to want to know, right? I mean, you'd want to know why I cut.
I would want to know why. Yeah.
Yes, that's very interesting. If someone's driving around cutting off raccoon dicks, there might be a logical explanation. We should get that explanation about the dick cutting.
I do wonder if our friend Chad's missing upper lip has any theories for why you personally, Eric Zane, would cut off a raccoon penis. But I figure he'll share that with us. And while we wait for that, let's stop down. $10 from Rumple Trenchcoat, a Columbo podcast. You guys are acting like cutting off roadkill gonads and keeping it for later is unusual. Yeah, you know what? I think we're being a little judgy. You know what? That's on us, Rumple Trenchcoat. Yeah.
Clearly, I haven't caught up, nor has Christian, to what is a very regularly occurring thing.
Yes, exactly. Also a regularly occurring thing is the sports segment of this show.
Who are these sports? You know what I'm saying? Who are these sports? Let's see who's playing. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? No, I don't know what's a side-eye.
Before we started, Chad's missing upper lip was over under the number of baseball clips Blatt makes us sit through is 3.5. That's going to depend on how much time EZ has. If he has to be out the door at 2:30 Eastern, then we might not. Okay. So it's going to be under that then is what it is. But it's going to be a doozy what we do have. If we're going to talk about sports this week, I think we need to talk about UConn. I think that's one place to start. And I mean, it's a highlight, but it's also a great broadcasting moment as time is expiring. The UConn Huskies, Braylon Mullins gets the ball.
Persar ahead, Boozer, that ball deflected and stolen by Mullins. Caravan, 2 seconds. Mullins tosses it up. Oh! It's good. We're 0.3. UConn goes in front.
So there's 0.3 seconds left on the clock, and this moment is being handled perfectly. I'm not even sure which of their announcers that is there, but I think he's doing a great job.
Ianigo. Foster.
That is Ianigo. Okay, 0.4.
He goes long. It's knocked away, and it's over. UConn still has the March magic. The Huskies are once again going to the final.
So very exciting moment for the Huskies. I want you to, again, for our audio audience, I want you to read the lips of Mama Mullins is in the crowd when this happens. And somebody tells me you've seen this already.
Awesome.
Because the way you're laughing. So we'll go ahead and see this.
Shit, we won.
That's the only thing she could possibly be saying is holy fucking shit, we won. And she can't believe it, nor should she, you know?
By the way, she couldn't look like more of a mom. Look at that Karen haircut.
Yeah, that's true. She looks like the lady who stole the baseball from the Phillies fan, the little kid, if you remember. Yeah, she does have that haircut, but that's great. You know, listen, I love stuff like that. That is
the player for Duke. You know how most people like under 29.
Yeah.
If anything bad happens to them, they immediately throw themselves out of a skyscraper.
Yes.
So this, that's I'm surprised. He's probably in the bottom of a lake right now. That guy,
right.
Caden Boozer.
Yeah, and the problem was for Duke fans is that they had only 0.4 seconds to put on their Lakers jersey, Yankees hat, and Lakers sneakers,
right?
Because they've already moved on, But it was a heartwarming moment during opening day in Baltimore for the Orioles. Yes, this is a baseball clip. A 109-year-old veteran threw out the first pitch.
Ceremonial first pitch today for the Baltimore Orioles, right?
I mean, you didn't even let me get to the point where I asked you. I knew you were going to hate him. So, a 109-year-old veteran.
There on the left, Arthur Green. He is 109 years old. He's a massive Orioles fan. He served his country in World War II and the Korean War. We know his daughter Myra. She works for ABC News in Washington, D.C. This is actually the second time Arthur has thrown out the ceremonial first pitch. He had the honor 3 years ago when he was 106 years old.
My question is, did he still throw like a girl 3 years ago, or has that just happened now? All right. You're a man's man. You've served our country. Try to put a little mustard on it.
A special day for the Green.
I don't know if this is true. Stolen valor. I'd have to see the proof of him in service.
So you think that perhaps maybe he is not representing himself?
No, he's probably 65. He's just smoked and drank his whole life.
Well, opening day is always a great day for baseball fans across the country. It wasn't the best day for our theme song, which is known as the Star Spangled Banner. This is an actor, a Broadway actor named Christopher Jackson. And it's relevant to point out he plays George Washington in Hamilton. So let's have him sing the Star Spangled Banner at the Mets-Pirates game in Queens.
Can you see?
The flag looks beautiful. I know you hate all this stuff.
Early light.
Okay.
What so proudly we hailed
I know this song.
at the twilight's last gleam.
That makes one of you.
Whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight.
He's doing well so far.
I thought it was night.
What so proudly
Yeah, well,
we
he also
hailed
has now lost his
were
place in
so
the song.
gallantly streaming.
This isn't the next part.
And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night.
Anyway, he recovers, but he fucks up the song. That's the key.
Yeah, he there were several lines that were botched in there.
Yes. He got a few things wrong. And listen,
But I think that most of those drunk New Yorkers, they don't care. They probably didn't even know. I mean, these are Mets fans. These are animals.
They're not.
smart.
They're not very smart. And look, I wouldn't sit here on this show and share Mets clips. That's not what I'm here to do. But you texted me about two things that happened, and these aren't Mets clips as much as really bad Pittsburgh Pirate clips. So they've got O'Neal Cruz in center field, who even before this season, I said is one of the laziest players in baseball.
Oh, he's a huge piece of shit.
Bader to
Look at
center
this
field.
dick.
Cruz started in.
So out of position.
It's over him. Send him.
Okay.
All three will score.
Okay, pause it for a second.
Yep.
This guy's such a piece of shit that the dude from the Mets hit it, and it's a well-hit ball. What does this moron do? He runs in as fast as he can.
Yeah.
He has no ability to judge how the ball is hit off the bat.
Started in. He gets burned. It's over him. Send him.
What a dick.
All three will score.
So that would have been a sac fly. They still would have scored, whatever. But instead, it's a bases clearing triple for Brett Beatty. So, excitement in my house when this happens. And, O'Neal Cruz is feeling bad about himself. The Pirates have, you're a Tigers fan, the second best pitcher in baseball,
Yeah.
Paul Skeens on the mound, who had a terrible day. He got 2 outs, mostly because of this guy. You think it's not just that. So here's the next play of the game.
Bucks bring the infield in 4-2 Mets. And the first pitch to Marcus Semien to start his New York career. Oh, and Cruz lost that one.
So he puts his glove up to cover the sun, and his teammate is wearing sunglasses.
Start his New York career. Oh, and Cruz lost that one.
So fucking bad.
A nightmarish start for O'Neal
I would've
Cruz
pulled
on
him out.
opening day.
You're done. You're done. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, they have to give Paul Skeens the hook,
and that the whole game. Can you imagine? It's your first game back after all that time off. Got the best pitcher on the mound, and your center fielder is such a huge pile of shit. The game is over in the first inning.
Yeah, I mean it's over for him, and you can shout out Paul Skeens because he sat in the dugout the whole time. He wasn't one of those bitches who's like, I'm gonna go take a shower now, So there is at least that, Last week I had a whole segment prepared, which was our great moments in broadcast history. But people were giving me money to show some silly argument I got into in the internet. So we didn't have time for this. And I'm keeping in mind that, we're getting close to the end of the show, but we're not at the end of the show yet. So I want to give everybody some great moments in broadcast history.
BTB, who are these broadcast history? Who are these broadcast history?
So it was a little silly last week that we were going to be talking about the 21-year anniversary for one of the most famous viral clips in internet history. Now it's 21 years in 1 week, but everybody knows this clip. This is a gentleman named Brian Collins. He was a 19-year-old freshman at Ball State University, filling in as the sportscaster for the campus newscast. And unfortunately, the teleprompter wasn't working. And we've all seen this before, but anytime we can celebrate this, I think we should see how Brian Collins did on that day 21 years ago.
The Indiana Pacers are looking for a measure of revenge tonight against the New Jersey Nets and to strengthen their playoff hopes. The Nets won the last Sunday's matchup 94-85, which left the Pacers one game behind the Chicago in the 7th series spot. Let's check out the highlights.
Now up to this point,
yeah,
up to there, the teleprompter was working. So
I think he's just having trouble reading at this point.
He's not good at following along with the prompter.
Yeah, because the
prompter can't read.
And the prompter operator needs to know you go slower or faster based on the person reading. But, that's all right. This was a college broadcast.
Saying things like the Sunday and
by the way, the Chicago. The Chicago what?
Yeah.
Now, I know it's the Bulls, but maybe somebody watching just had no idea. But let's go to the clips. Got any thoughts, Brian?
Steven Jackson's David.
He did what now?
Say he passes it to the man.
Reggie Miller's looking good. He shoots a 3, and it's good.
Jason Kidd shot it.
Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
This is why people remember the clip, because the only thing he was loaded with, the only thing he had in his back pocket was that, listen, this is the zenith, the peak of the Sports Center catchphrases,
right?
And the fact Scott, Rich Eisen, Dan Patrick, Craig Kilborn, they all had their things. So he's like, and boom goes the dynamite. And I also love, my favorite part isn't so much boom goes the dynamite. It's right before that when he goes and he throws it to the man.
Right. He passes it to the man.
But he had to make sure that he got this in here.
Later, he gets the rebound, passes it to the man, shoots it, and boom goes the dynamite.
Beautiful.
And I like
the final scores in an with the Pacers
rustling and hear his mouth noises go.
His mouth is so dry.
63 to the Nets 61.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot for that look into sports, Brian.
Yeah.
And
I love that. Yeah.
Look how low he is in his chair. He's defeated. He's just thinking about slitting his wrists, and that's about it. And this chick's laughing at him. She's like,
sounds like
I'll never suck his dick.
No. But the guy to our left, literally, she would probably had her hand on his thigh while they were going. He does sound like Dr. Oz on a treadmill.
And when we come back, we'll have one final look at weather. Stay tuned.
I love this. The little sting from the broadcast. And, so he's probably haunted by that noise, But anyway, so that's fun. We had some great laughs back then. I mean, that clip's so old, it's before YouTube. I don't even know how I saw it.
Yeah, he's 40 now. I think it was on E-Bombs when it first hit.
Oh, no, that's a shout out to our buddy Carl, so I guess it's 2 weeks ago now, we lost the great Chuck Norris. And eventually it seemed like Chuck Norris had a good sense of humor about himself. First, when those list of Chuck Norris things started going around, he didn't think they were funny. We had him on the radio show I produced, and we were told to not bring them up. And we were like, but we read them all the time. They're so much fun. And then he wrote a book of them. So he realized okay, there's money to be made. So he went on the Best Damn Sports Show period, and he read some of them.
When the boogeyman goes to sleep every night, he checks his closet for Chuck Norris.
That's a huge reaction, but it's all right. That's funny.
Chuck Norris is currently suing NBC, claiming Law and Order are trademark names for his left and right legs.
Yeah. All right, we're having fun.
Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer. Too bad he never cries, ever.
Oh, man.
Now I got to say my favorite one now.
Well, there's the irony there. If only he'd cried, right? He'd still be with us, right? Easy.
Jesus, Chuck. Yeah, he was very stiff whenever he was doing any type of acting. I always thought he was an overachiever. because no one ever remembers anything that Chuck ever acted in. They just know he was in it.
I mean, Delta Force and Walker, Texas Ranger. I mean, come on now.
Maybe. Only reason why I remember missing in action is because I was a child when I saw it.
And for me, I remember it because it was on HBO like literally every day in the afternoon. But it's funny that Walker, Texas Ranger came up because it was a recurring bit on Late Night with Conan O'Brien that he had the Walker, Texas Ranger lever that they would pull and get a clip from the show.
Well, folks, there is one clip from Walker, Texas Ranger that we've been holding back on. In fact, this is true. We've been afraid to show it. But it's spring cleaning, and I want to test just how good a crowd this is. So here it is. The one Walker clip we've never shown. Once you see it, you'll understand why.
And how you doing, little partner?
Fine. And it's little visitor now. Attaboyoli's how you say it in Cherokee.
Oh, well, pardon my French, but I'll be damned.
Walker told me I had AIDS.
Haley Joel Osment.
It is a wonderful performance from a very young Haley Joel Osment. So Conan stands up from his desk, has to walk that off. What the fuck? I don't quite know how Walker would know. I don't know how Haley Joel Osment's character got it. There's a lot of questions. So Conan's looking out the fake window at the fake backdrop. He doesn't know what to say.
I don't understand where that would make sense or how that could ever make sense.
Conan at his best.
I think we should go to commercial.
Yes, absolutely.
Was that Wilford Brimley?
It looks like Wilford Brimley, and I actually, in my memory, I thought that was Wilford Brimley, but I don't think that's actually him. I don't think they could have afforded him for Walker, Texas Ranger.
I like how Chuck's only thing he does in that clip is goes,
yeah,
he just smiles.
Yeah, I don't think that's Wilford Brimley. Yeah.
Okay.
Who, by the way, Wilford Brimley in the film Cocoon was Eric Zane's age, and he was supposed to be like the oldest man.
Shut up.
Anyway, that is our show. There's a couple of programming notes that after last week we were on Wednesday, and I said we would be back on Tuesdays. We're going to be on Wednesday again next week at the regular time, our still new regular time, 1 p.m. Eastern. The last one was because I had to register my kids for zoo camp.
That's right.
This one is so that I can have lunch with Dennis Miller. He needed
okay. You and Den.
I felt like that was important. A mutual friend of ours is leaving. So if it gives me an excuse to name drop, it's worth rescheduling the show.
Is it a famous mutual friend?
It is not. No, only fans of our radio show would know.
When you go out to eat, do you go in public places?
Yeah.
Does he get stopped all the fucking time by every
idiot? He's not the most famous person in Montecito, so it's fine.
Okay, there's plenty of famous.
Yeah. I mean,
so nobody gives a shit.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but it's not like Steve Martin or Martin Short.
How does he handle it? Is he sweet to people?
He's always very nice to people, and tries to keep it somewhat brief. He's like, "Hey, thanks a lot." You know what I mean? If somebody wants a picture, he's not going to say no, but he tries to keep the interaction.
Okay. So if you see Christian and Dennis Miller, make sure you harass them.
Yeah, right. And actually pull up a chair and say, Christian told me I could sit here. So you can find us then. Also, Eric Zane, I think it's important to note that tomorrow you're going to be on the Blackcast for the first time ever.
That's right.
And our friend Lucy Tightbox will be talking about the film Weapons, which, yes, came out a long time ago. But you just saw it.
Just saw it. And I was shocked that you hadn't discussed it. So that what better reason? I think you discussed it. No. And I think you've mentioned it on your show.
I've talked about it among
not
other
really
things,
had a long talk
yeah.
about it.
So, and when I before I even got the ain out in Eric Zane, Lucy said, yes, she will be happy to be there. So that will be at 5 p.m. Eastern. So, before WATP starts. You guys can watch us for a little while over on the Blattcast, BLADTCAST. And streaming in just a little bit is a roundtable conversation I did on the 50th anniversary of the Kiss album Destroyer, which includes Detroit Rock City, which our buddy EZ did a parody of that we played on the show. And I come across that file pretty regularly. I'm like, there's no reason to delete that. I never know when I might need it again.
All the boys walking down the street, when I see him, going to beat my meat. You got to lose your mind for Detroit Rock City.
And if people want more mirth like that, in addition to you being on the Blattcast, where do they find you, sir?
I'm on Twitch Monday through Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, Fridays at 9 a.m. But this Friday, it'll be 10 a.m. So that's just a one-time thing. And Chad's DUI footage, twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. I will not have that.
Thank you. Please clap.
I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/Eric Zane, with a 7-day free trial attached to it.
I mean, 7 days, you can really get through a lot of the tremendous content.
Find out if it sucks shit or not. If you're like, oh, this is horrible, then you
just look for the episodes where I called in. That'd probably be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that is our show. We will be back next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern. But until then, as always, this is Christian Bladt reminding you that every mic is a hot mic. And you guys are acting like cutting off roadkill gonads and keeping it for later is unusual. See you on Wednesday, next Wednesday.